Bichette jumps on the first one and makes it 5-1 Toronto.
Yeah, Bo Bichette with a big blow there in the fifth inning. Blue Jays scored 4 in the frame to open up a 6-1 lead at that point. Tigers once again had the lead early in this one, but much like last night, they did not close strong. Yeah. And I don't know. I've been thinking about this. You've held back.
I've held back.
I don't know if I can ask you to do it full-throated.
No.
But the Tigers have now lost 11 out of 12. Cleveland was rained out tonight, so the lead is down to 7.5. So I think at least it needs to be said.
Okay. I didn't want to do this, and I never want to do this.
It's not going to be shrieky, is it?
And it might be moot in another week. But as of right now, 1-11 their last 12 games. Panic in Tiger Town?
Kind of.
Panic
That's kind of a low-key delivery.
I mean, for a team that's 7.5 games in front in first place was still made the 5th or 6th
for the uninformed. There are times where it's much louder and much shriekier.
That was very muted.
That was no doubt about it.
Yeah. But it does. It's not panic time, but it certainly is. Like just talking to Dylan Dingler in the clubhouse, and he's like, I know it gets redundant, but I don't know what else we can say. We're just going to go out, we're trying to work on the little things, not make the little mistakes, and until it happens, there's nothing you can do about it but play the next game.
This now matches the worst slide under A.J. Hinch for the Tigers, and it's something they didn't even do last year before they caught fire.
Right.
Was lose 11 of 12. And you're right, Dan, it did feel a lot like last night. They come out, they take the lead, their pitcher seems to be cruising, and then a costly error on the part of Baez with no help from Torkelson in the fourth, and then an unraveling on the part of Montero in the fifth. And these are the signs of a fragile team. When cracks begin to surface, the dam bursts, and that's what we saw again tonight.
And I want to say, no, that's not an expected catch for most players, but Riley Green in left field. But those were all the catches they were making.
100%.
Every single one of those. Parker Meadows, Riley Green, they made all those catches, and that led to the big inning.
You saw Vlad Guerrero with a double. He came home with a double by Addison Barger. Jays took a 2-1 lead on this play. Throw skipped over to first there by Baez. Torkelson couldn't come up with it. Then the dam really broke in the fifth inning. Toronto would add more. It's Guerrero again, as you're going to see here, a second straight double for him. Ultimately scored on the second base hit, and it was a 3-1 game. Far from done because Bo Bichette is going to add to it. Double for him into the right field corner. 2 runs coming around. Montero at that point was down 5-1. That was it for him. He was lifted after that. Tyler Holton came on. Alejandro Kirk got to him. Bloop single, infield in. Bichette coming to the plate. They scored 4. So the Tigers went from 1-0 up to 2-1 down after the fourth, to 6-1 down after the fifth.
And that was pretty much it. And one more thing on that, Baez, just like the Riley Green, that's a play Baez has been making all year. That's a scoop Torkelson has been making all year. It really is amazing. Hinch was talking before the game about every time something bad happens, you're like, oh no, it's not happening again. And they're stuck in that right now.
We said it off the top. Only once in this slide have the Tigers had a pitcher complete 6 innings, and that happened to be the one game they won during this slide. Imagine that. And Montero tonight pitches into the fifth and couldn't get a single out. And look, his stuff just isn't overwhelming or dominant enough for him to live in the zone, and he's not precise enough to live where he needs to, and we saw the result of that in the fifth when the Blue Jays just teed off on him for about 4 batters.
Well, you're now searching for answers, and A.J. Hinch met with the media looking to answer some questions tonight, and this was about an 11th loss in 12 games for the Tigers as they fall to the Jays 6-2. Here's the manager.
I'll have to take a look at the Riley one. I didn't see it off the bat right away as a play to discuss. Yeah, the Javi one's a tough one. It didn't lead to anything. I mean, it had to run, but we were able to stop the inning at that point at 2-1, which was key. But he got caught on his heels, flat-footed, and made a low throw. So it's a mistake that's not he hasn't been making, and obviously right now it's heightened with what's going on with our team, and every mistake is magnified, and that one put him ahead.
Peter got through the order twice really well.
Yeah.
They were a little tougher. Did you see him falter at all, or is that more of them just having...
I got to look at the video to see where the execution actually was. But when we talk about putting multiple at-bats together, like you can go to that inning, and they put 4 extreme at-bats together with some rockets that produced, a ton of pressure. We got to the Barger at-bat, and Holton got an out. It was productive. They move a runner up. And then Kirk fights the ball or contacts your friend over the infield. So, like, all of those at-bats is 6 at-bats I just rattled off that are productive and good and quality, and that's that team offense with the way they're going right now opened up the game.
What did you see from your guys in your at-bats against Barrios?
Specifically, which ones? In general.
I mean, you had 5 hits off of him. I think you had a couple walks as well, but not enough runs to get it done.
Yeah, I mean, you saw the same thing I saw. Obviously, it was nice to get, a couple of early opportunities. Cole hits the bullet, double play. We didn't hit the ball tremendously hard against them until, Torque hit the homer when we were down. It was middle. If you look on the board, it was a middle pitch, which was nice to see him get that elevated to the pull side. So, 2 runs and only a few hits. It's a tough way to win.
Can you contrast the managing well and the challenges of keeping the team doing that versus what's going on right now, which I do during this stretch? Yeah, I mean, it's obviously hard enough to, press the reset button after good times or you win a series and getting. We've lost a little bit of our identity of, getting out of the gate hot in the game, for example. We haven't been able to do that. The morale is good, but it's tough on these guys. I mean, this has been a rough, tough couple of weeks, and we're getting tested at the, at the highest mark. So, I think they're both equally hard to manage through when you're talking about 162 games, but the lows are definitely harder. The highs are always great. You're just trying to get to the next game and carry a little bit of your mojo into the next game. This one, we're trying to, keep our chins up, keep our chests out, realize we're still a first-place team, and, we're one good game away from potentially taking off again.
Is there a way to explain this stretch other than something that happens in the course of 162, or is there any other explanation for how a good team, how this can happen to it?
If we could explain it, like, we would snap our fingers and fix it, and I think that's what's hard about sports is everybody wants to know why, and we've got to go get ready for a game tomorrow. So we're trying to address some of the things that are bleeding into our style of play or our uncharacteristic mistakes or 2-strike middle, which are getting beat. I mean, you can write a laundry list of things when teams aren't going well, what's going wrong, and baseball is going to push back a little bit and make you play the next day and the next day and the next day. And the Blue Jays or any other team that we play aren't going to feel sorry for us. So the answer is come back tomorrow ready to play, and we've got to play better if we expect to win.
You said morale is good. What do you look for, in morale to know that it's good when performance isn't so good?
Yeah, I mean, we're not pouting and sulking, and there's a ton of frustration. There's a ton of togetherness. There's a ton of guys trying to find solutions. I mean, it's not a matter of effort or trying or working or drills or staying together. Right now, execution is hard to find. For 9 innings, it feels pretty good for a minute, but it's going to take 27 outs to get to the finish line.
For tomorrow, is Tarek still good?
Yeah, we're expecting Tarek to go unless I hear otherwise.
Out of all that, what Tiger fans needed to hear was the last thing he said. Is that as of now, Tarek Skubal's wife is very close to giving birth, could happen any time. But as of now, they anticipate that he will be pitching tomorrow. That's what a Tiger fan needs to hear.
And in the clubhouse, Dylan Dingler was saying, we can't wait to get out there behind Scoobs tomorrow. They are thinking of that, obviously.
Tarek is who we thought we were. We thought we were the skid stoppers. No. It's Tarek Skubal. He'll handle our business for us.
Tigers, a rough one tonight again. They fall for the 11th time in 12 games. 6-2 the final. You saw it right here on Fox 2. This is our post-game show. We're wrapping it up. More coming up after this.
Then the next pitch was inside and hit it for a home run.
get what you want. Here's a backhand play. Baez to first, one hopper, not caught. Barger scores. The Blue Jays do pay off some shaky defense. It is 2-1 Toronto.
A little bit of shaky defense there for the Tigers, but tonight really a story and a tale of two starting pitchers. Let's talk about both of those. And Birchie, let's start on the Toronto side with Jose Barrios. Look, we knew he'd be tough, and he was tough tonight. 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, both earned, and 6 strikeouts.
Yeah, we asked for urgency from the Tigers, and I think we actually saw it out of the gate. In the second, Harris singles, he steals second, and then Dingler drives him home and stretches his single into a double. And you thought, okay, here are the aggressive and the assertive Tigers as we've known them for most of this season. And then they just disappeared. 2 hits the rest of the way, one of which was a homer for Torp. But we also referenced how Barrios can really hold offenses down with runners in scoring position. And again tonight, after that first hit by Dingler, 1 for 5 with runners in scoring position, I thought he made good pitches against a lineup that is clearly searching for it right now.
And let's talk about what the Tigers did for much of the first half of the season. When they had a 1-0 lead, it became a 4-0 lead. They would build on the leads. The last 2 nights, 1-0 leads, that's great. But you need to hold them on the mound, and then you need to add to it.
Yeah, and the relievers did okay. I think Tyler Holton gave up the last, but Herder came in and had 3 strikeouts and 2 innings scoreless. So but the disparity in the hitting between the two teams, and these teams that they're playing, the Blue Jays are a great slugging team. Yeah. And they look just visually like bigger, better athletes that strike the ball better. And maybe that's the way it looks, but these guys have a track record of it, like Vlad Guerrero and Bichette and Springer, where the Tigers don't necessarily have that track record.
So let's get to Montero. First 3 innings, 2 hits, no runs. After that, 4th and 5th inning, he faced 11 batters, gave up 7 hits, 6 runs, 5 earned, Woj.
For Montero?
Yep.
Yeah, it wasn't, and it's a double-edged sword. He didn't walk anybody because he stayed in the zone, and they hit it. Because that was Hinch talked about before the game. Stay in the zone. Don't nibble. Okay, didn't nibble. Here it is. Yeah. And they slug, and they go right at it. They don't wait around, and they don't waste pitches. And they're hard to strike out. They're a very hard team to strike out.
If you're not going to miss bats in the zone, you better live on the edges of the zone. And Montero did not do that tonight, especially with men on. Too many hittable pitches that were mostly middle, and you're going to get killed by guys like Guerrero and Springer and Bichette when you do that. And also, hand up, I called for him to throw some more knuckle curves in the pregame. He did that. That did not work out too well. Fewer knuckle curves next time, I think, for Montero.
And maybe less, maybe more nibbling.
Pitching coach are numbered, unfortunately. Tigers fall by a final of 6-2. Montero, as we said, rough 4th, rough 5th. He talked after the game through his interpreter about this effort.
2 runs in the 4th inning, but then in the 5th, a bunch of hits off of you in a row. What did you kind of see from their at-bats against you, and what do you think led to their success?
2 carreras en la cuarta y después de esas carreras consecutivas, esos 2 batazos consecutivos. ¿Qué viste en ellos que quizás fue la clave para tu éxito?
De verdad que, digamos que se ajustaron y pudieron conectar buenos batazos. Hay que dar el crédito también a ellos. Pero seguimos trabajando y tratar de que la próxima salida sea mejor.
You know, they're good hitters. Then they made the adjustments. That was the key for them. And of course, credit to them to what they did. But it's time to turn the page and keep working on the improvements for the next outing.
What was the big adjustment you saw them make? Obviously, the slider was really, really good for you. Did they start to take that a little bit more?
¿Cuál fue la que hicieron? Creo que si la slider estaba buena. ¿Cuál crees tú que fue el ajuste que ellos hicieron?
Tratar de atacarme temprano porque vieron que estaba atacándolo yo a ellos y pudieron conectar buenos batazos temprano en el conteo.
Attacking the zone early in the pitch counts, that was key for them. They realized and they noticed that I was attacking the zone myself, so they were on top of that, so that was key for them.
Just what's the challenge facing that lineup? They don't strike out a lot or generally make it easy on those pitchers.
¿Cuál es el reto de enfrentarse a un lineup así que no se poncha tanto y que toma turnos, le pone turnos difíciles a los pitchers?
¿Quién?
Los azulejos en general.
No, es bastante fuerte, o sea, ellos no esperan muchos picheos, sino que hacen muchos swings a los primeros picheos y siempre ponen la bola de juego temprano en los conteos. Pero es bastante fuerte, pero es como que seguir atacando y haciendo lo que uno sabe hacer.
You know, it's a big challenge given that they are attacking the strike zone on the first pitches. They don't wait to deep counts, and they do the small things. So and they're very good at that. So the key for me and for us is just to keep attacking the zone, and at some moment they make themselves out.
Cater Montero ends up taking the loss, goes 4 innings for the Tigers, 9 hits, 6 runs, 5 earned, no walks, 3 strikeouts. They will be looking for something markedly better tomorrow from Tarek Skubal as they look to pick up a win, now having lost 11 out of 12. Cleveland, by the way, rained out tonight, so the Tigers with the 7.5 game lead in the division.
Oh, okay. We got to watch the scoreboard now, don't we?
They'll play a doubleheader tomorrow.
15.5 sounded a little...
Yeah,
it was more fun, for sure.
It really was.
We'll take a break, come right back. You know what? Your best players have to be your best players. Tigers will look from that for Tarek Skubal tomorrow. Jays have gotten it the last 2 nights from the top 4 hitters in their order. We'll talk about that on the other side. They've done some damage.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They have?
Yeah.
Intellectually, we know that this team is better than what they're in right now. As Torque waylays this ball, left field, and got it! That's a start.
Spencer Torkelson with a solo home run, number 23 in the season for him. Unfortunately, there was not a lot of production from the top of that Tiger order. And talk about the top 4 hitters for Detroit, but by comparison, Toronto has been raking with their top 4 guys over the last 2 nights. Lucas, Springer, Guerrero, Bichette. Last 2 nights, 15 hits, 7 RBIs. Tonight, 8 for 23 RBIs, 3 extra base hits. Those guys right now are just setting the table for that lineup, and then they're feasting.
And very few cheap hits. I mean, they are lashing balls around the field. And I think Montero tonight gave up something like 12 or 13 hard hit balls, and you heard every single last one of them. And the Jays have a way of stacking good at-bats one after the next. So when these big boppers do damage, it shows up on the scoreboard in the form of crooked numbers. The Tigers' good at-bats, few and far between, are sporadic right now. And while Toronto's first 4 tee off tonight, the Tigers' first 4, albeit with a Torkelson homer, go 2 for 15, and that's the story, really, of tonight's game.
And let me just say this, too. We talked about, are the Tigers feeling the pressure? Are they pressing? And Hinch said, well, I'm not going to lie to you. Yeah, when you think things are going bad, you're pressing. In case in point, the only home runs that Green and Torque have hit in the last whatever were in the 9th inning of blowouts the last 2 nights. Torque tonight and Green the night before. Not denigrating that, but that seems to me, when the game is out of reach and the pressure is a little bit off, at least for one at bat, they're hitting home runs. Just a little clue that the pressure is really getting into them.
As opposed to what you saw from Toronto's top 4.
Right.
They were delivering at critical times, down 1-0, up 2-1, and extending from there.
Right. And in the field, too, you referenced the plays the Tigers could have made. That's what a cold team looks like. A hot team looks like the Blue Jays tonight. In the outfield, Barger sliding catch to lead off the 7th. Clement, a great play at 2nd, snagging a short hop to end the 6th. That team is firing on all cylinders. The Tigers are not right now.
Dylan Dingler behind the plate for the Tigers tonight. He caught Cater Montero, was asked about his performance.
No, I don't think he faltered at all. I just think it was a couple bad 2-strike pitches, to be honest. I think that's how they got on base and started the rally. And I just think just a very small thing of just fine-tuning some 2-strike execution. I think we're good.
I've asked you about the team and the stretch and stuff like that, but for you personally, like, this is your first time going through something like this at the big league level. I think all you've known up here is winning since you got here last year. So I guess kind of what is it like for you as an individual?
Yeah, obviously it's tough. You never want to go through a stretch like this. You learn a lot about yourself, a lot about your teammates and everything like that, and you know, we're handling it as well as we can. Obviously, you know, it's getting pretty redundant us saying, you know, turn the page, and everything like that, but there's nothing else you can do. You got to look forward to tomorrow and just put the best product out there.
What makes their lineup so tough, especially with 2 strikes, extending at bats, or being tough to finish off?
Yeah, we knew going into it that they don't punch out all that much. They put the ball in play as a team, And I feel like that's just kind of going back to what we were saying about two-strike execution. They're on it. You know, they're not chasing all that much. They're just trying to put the ball in play. They're doing a good job of situational hitting, and you know, we just got to do a little bit better job.
During the stretch like this, how do you walk the line between pressing and being aggressive, long gap, and get out of things, or press this? That's how you stay in. How do you walk that line?
Exactly. So, you know, pressing is doing things that aren't characteristic of you as a team. So I would say, just try to play as free and loose as possible. Still try to be the team that got us to this point in the season. You know, got us this record. But we just got to make sure we hone in on the little things. I know AJ was just talking about it. Make sure we're doing the little things, jogging out the bases, situational hitting, just all those kind of combined, you know.
That was after the game. I was talking about it.
Oh, just briefly before the game, just making sure wasn't exactly, but just making sure that we were focusing on, you know, the little things, getting back to the little things, and hoping that, you know, creates momentum.
You know what the beautiful thing about baseball is?
You play again tomorrow.
Tomorrow's a new day.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that when we come back. We'll wrap up our post-game show next. Tigers fall 6-2 to the Jays tonight here at Comerica Park. Do not adjust your television sets at home. This is legitimate right here. This is the giveaway tomorrow to the first 15,000 fans.
And the Tigers, to snap the skid, might be wearing these themselves tomorrow.
Oh, that would be something.
Change the vibes up a little bit.
Not a bad idea. You know, that's pretty standard.
What are we calling this?
This is the Hawaiian set. First 15,000 tomorrow. And not only would I wear this, Dan, I am wearing this, and I am going to wear this. You might see me on the sidelines in Allen Park tomorrow wearing this, and you might see me in the press box here tomorrow night
gosh.
rocking this bad boy.
Well, there it is.
Very breezy.
It's very breathable.
Right?
It's nice and light.
2 words.
Only a little bit blinding.
Yeah, blinded. That and the dust that just got in my eye. 2 words about tomorrow's game before we get out of here. Tarek Skubal.
They've never needed Scoobs more than they do tomorrow. Now, they
Stopper,
have,
ace.
but they in every way, shape, and form, they need them.
Tonight was a rough one. Tigers fall 6-2. Here's the cool thing. On a Friday night, you get the fireworks. They were fantastic afterwards. So as we leave you, enjoy the post-game fireworks show, everybody. Have a great night. Fox 2 News is next.